Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be checking out the new rune system coming in Season 8 again. There was a new post about it, but this video is more about how it's going to affect off-meta picks because I think it's actually going to make it much better and that could really shake up the game in Season 8. I love playing off-meta stuff, AD carry especially, like my AD Ari or AD Brand, like I play those a lot. My AP Nasus as well, I really enjoy. The problem is they are off-meta, right? They're not quite as good or a competitive pick, I guess, as some of the meta picks, but it might actually change in Season 8. So let's just jump into the video very quickly. I'm going to link all three of these posts in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. They have examples of runes that are probably going to be coming into the game, so it's worth a check if you're interested. Anyway, we're going to cover two things today. So the new keystones and also these new system of adaptive runes, which is basically runes that change in the game. We don't have anything like adaptive runes at the moment, and you have to remember that runes are going to be more powerful in Season 8. That is one of the first things that Riot have said. Keystones are going to be more powerful and they're going to be more choices. There's also another reason though why I think the new rune system is going to be so good, because Riot has actually specifically said they are building it with off meta in mind. They aren't going to screw over these champions that you like to run with a different build. So adaptive runes first of all, and these are actually going to be runes that you can swap in game. Well, you can't actually like change them in game, but the stats are going to swap as you build your champion. For example, you could be playing Lucian, right? You could enter into the game, you could buy a Doran's Blade to start with, but then you could go AP afterwards. So your adaptive runes would start giving you AD, and then they would swap to giving you AP when you actually changed your build. If you wanted to play AD Ari, for example, something I like doing is actually going a Doran's Ring on her to start with, so you have a bit more pushing power, and then swap to AD afterwards. With that, you would have your runes giving you like AP and also Magic Pen to the start of the game, which is what you need. And then as you build AD stuff, it would actually swap to giving you Arm Pen and attack damage. I think that's actually really cool, and especially with some of the examples I'll give you in a second, you can see how it could be quite powerful. But these are going to be swapping in game depending on like which stat has more probably. So like either you're building AD or you're building AP. To give you an example, AP Nasus, as I said, I play a little bit already. There was a rune that they talked about, and this is only a minor rune. So remember, this is like the least powerful type of rune I guess they're going to have in Season 8. It's this thing called Overcharge, right? You gain percentage cooldown reduction per level up to 10% at level 10. The thing is though, if you actually build cooldown reduction as well, which you probably want to do on AP Nasus, then that gets converted into either AP or AD depending on the game. It's actually adaptive. The reason I'm highlighting this for Nasus, for example, is because you want to be spamming your abilities early, but you don't have any cooldown reduction. But this actually gives you that, and then it converts to AP late game, which is really good. And if you built this or took this on an AD version of the champion, if you build Trinity Force and you build like tank and stuff, like this would actually be giving you the cooldown reduction, but then it would swap to giving you attack damage afterwards, which is what you want with a kind of an AD build. There actually is another one as well. It's not an adaptive rune or anything like that, but this kind of gives you an idea of how runes can be way more impactful and kind of like influence the champion and how you play them. There's this one called Intelligence. It's 5% cooldown reduction, 5% max cooldown reduction, so you're increasing your cap. It also reduces your summoner spell cooldowns, your item cooldowns, and your rune cooldowns as well. So it's giving you like cooldown reduction across the board. Imagine the two of these together, you already have 15% cooldown reduction, which for AP Nasus would be so good spamming your abilities over and over. Now this is something we don't have at the moment. Like that is a key weakness of AP Nasus. One of the reasons he doesn't really work is because your E has such a long cooldown, and that is all of your damage. Well, suddenly that doesn't really matter as much, right? If we're spamming that over and over, because we actually have cooldown reduction and a lot of it built into our runes. Another example would be AD carry Ari, right? So swapping, taking an AP champion and now making it AD. The first adaptive one is called Perfectionist. While above 80% health, you gain a bit of AD or AP depending on which you're building, and it's based on your level. This is pretty good for a start because, as I was saying before, right, in the lane phase, you're probably going to be starting with a Doran's Ring so you can actually push and stuff, get some mana regen. That means you actually want AP to start the game, right? So you can push a bit more and stuff like that. You can poke a bit more, but when you actually start building AD and you start building your attack damage items, you want that to swap over to AD, which is what this does. The other thing is because keystones are probably going to be more powerful, it means you can actually adapt the playstyle of a champion and actually kind of give them a natural boost of power without really having to change their kit. What I mean is this one called Berserk here, right? 3 seconds after damaging a champion, you go Berserk and you gain 60% attack speed for 3 seconds. Now, any champion you actually try to make AD, whether it's Brand, Orianna, or Ari, or stuff like that, because you don't really have many AD scaling abilities in your kit and stuff, you rely on your auto attacks, so you need to be attacking quickly, and you also want built-in damage on your autos, like on hit damage. The way you actually buff on hit damage is by building attack speed. So this Berserk is actually so good with like a Blade Throwing King or a Rage Bait build. You could in theory build that on any single champion and actually do a decent amount of damage because of this keystone, and that is another reason why I think off meta is going to be so good. Just a bit more about the keystones very quickly. So we're going to have more than 9 at the moment. That is what Riot has said. So obviously right now we have 3 in each tree. We're going to be having more than that, so there's going to be more choice. The really cool thing with that is because they are so specialized into giving you something like this Berserk one giving giving you attack speed, or we know Perksy, which is giving you basically a shield on your allies or damage on enemies. Because they're so specialized, they do a specific job. That means if you want to go AD on an AP champion, you're going to be able to, or vice versa, right? You want to go AP on an AD champion, there's probably going to be a keystone for that. Keystones right now are also very impactful in the game, right? Like taking further over warlords can actually change the way you play a little bit. Like you're kind of more all in rather than pokey if you have the heal. That already makes a difference with what you pick, but they're going to be even more powerful in season 8, so it's going to make even more of a difference. To give you a couple more examples of how you could be using something like this, like Berserk would be really good on AD carry Twisted Fate, for example. Twisted Fate is all about spamming auto attacks over and over. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's actually really cool because he just whips his cards out like constantly. The point is, when you have this Berserk keystone, like you're going to be attacking even faster, you're going to be applying all that on hit damage, you would be stacking your Rage Blade faster, and you'd be doing a lot of damage. There is another keystone that we know about as well, which is called Ruined King's Tribute. So every 4 seconds in combat, your next attack would deal damage to nearby champions and large monsters equal to a percentage of your health. Two things with this is, one, it will probably bring back stuff like Tank Blitzcrank or Tank Leona because it gives you a bit more damage and also a bit more sustain. But also, how about in the jungle, because it works on large monsters, you'd be doing extra bonus damage where you don't necessarily have loads of damage in your kit, maybe if you're off meta, and you'd also be healing as well, so it'd improve your clear speed and you'd actually survive in the jungle. So you might even have more off meta junglers. These are obviously like overview of the keystones. They're not set in stone or anything, but the examples they've given us actually make a massive difference to how you'll play a champion, and that means off meta is just going to be much better. Let me know what you think about this entire thing. Obviously we don't have it out right now, but this could really change the game, in my opinion, for the better. Like it could make it a lot more fun because we could be seeing stuff like AP Nasus and AD carry Ari and it not be a troll pick. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching this though. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. But for now, I'll leave you with the robots.